One preseason game in the books, a 13-13 tie at the New England Patriots. Let's get into it. Now, first off, last night we got the big news that the Colts will be signing wide receiver Keenan Allen. The veteran is a six-time Pro Bowler. He's 34, 6'2", and last season he had 81 receptions for 777 yards and 4 touchdowns. The receptions and yards are both comparable to the numbers that Michael Pittman Jr. put up for the Indianapolis Colts last season. Head coach Shane Steichen spent 7 seasons with Keenan Allen with the Chargers from 2014 through 2020 while he was on the Chargers coaching staff. Also in the wide receiver room, still no Alec Pierce at the moment. Initially, it was believed that he would enter practice within the first week or two of training camp, but he will miss all of training camp in Westfield. I've seen a lot of concerns about this on social media, but there has still not been a reported setback specifically, so we'll wait and see, but hopefully Pierce is back in the next couple of weeks. Still hoping that he's going to be ready for the Week 1 opener against Baltimore. Now, from the preseason game, let's talk about the quarterback 2 competition. Still a bit volatile. So Anthony Richardson looked a bit like Anthony Richardson, but slightly more efficient. He was 11 of 14 with 145 passing yards, 53 rushing yards, a rushing touchdown, 1 pick, and 1 fumble. Richardson showed off his running ability, but still struggled to string together efficient drives of offense. He started the first half against New England in preseason game 1. In the second half, it was Riley Leonard, and he was not efficient. Leonard was 10 of 21 passing for only 89 passing yards, 12 rushing yards, and threw a pick as well. Right away in the second half, Riley Leonard took a big hit while he threw a completion to the flat on the right side of the field. Shortly thereafter, threw an ugly interception, and he looked a bit shaken for the remainder of the game. I was expecting Leonard to show off his ability a bit in the second half against those third and fourth stringers in the preseason game, but he did not look prepared. So after having a great Sunday practice last week, he went out to New England and did not have a good showing. So he will start the upcoming preseason game against the Atlanta Falcons, and he has some room to make up in that competition as Richardson certainly looked more comfortable in the first outing. CJ Allen has returned back to practice after missing the previous 5 practices. He's going to be very important for this linebacker rotation, so it's great to see him back in action. Bryce Betcher is looking great. He's the other rookie linebacker. He laid down a couple of huge hits in that preseason game, and he's been getting a lot of snaps in training camp, both with the first team and second team, very busy. So we mentioned last week that Lou Anarumo is going to be willing to rotate linebackers a lot during this regular season, using them to match up against whatever the offense shows. So guys like CJ Allen will likely be on the field most of the time, assuming that he is healthy. And alongside him, it seems that the favorite is veteran Akeem Davis-Gaither at weak side linebacker. He'll likely be the guy out there on third downs, but Bryce Betcher looks like he's going to be a reliable run-stopping linebacker, and guys like Jalen Carlisle will be utilized in pass coverage situations. He has great length at 6'3", and he did play safety in college, so he has great ball skills as well. Austin Ajike has also played a lot of reps in this training camp as we have struggled to keep our linebackers healthy. Ajike's only regular season experience was last year with the Colts, but he will be a member of this linebacker rotation as well. It's going to be a bit chaotic, and it's hard to anticipate what exactly that rotation will look like, but if he's healthy, it will largely be CJ Allen, and I'm very excited about what I'm seeing from Bryce Betcher so far as well. Moving on to safety, AJ Halsey has totally taken over the first team reps. We mentioned this last week, but it's notable again now because Hunter Wohler, the other safety, second-year player, has returned from his hamstring injury and has not taken any of those first-team reps back from AJ Halsey. So Halsey is settling in, and I definitely expect him to be the day one starter alongside Cam Bynum at safety this regular season. The backup running back, Seth McGowan, still looks great. DJ Giddens, who was competing with him for that backup spot, is still out with the hamstring injury, so he hasn't had an opportunity to show off his skill set recently. But McGowan, while not very efficient in his showing in preseason game number 1, has been breaking off big runs in training camp. Very impressive, very excited to see what he's going to be able to show off in his rookie year. Charvarius Ward, or Mooney Ward, remains out with back pain currently. He's missed the last 3 practices. That is a significant absence, as the Colts will definitely need his veteran presence at corner this season. Hopefully this is just a precautionary holdout with his back pain from these practices, but it is worth mentioning that he missed some time in the offseason program as well with tightness in his back. Now, onto some standouts from the preseason game. Will Mallory was the team's leading receiver, the backup tight end that I shouted out last week. On 7 targets, he had 6 receptions for 80 yards. This included a couple of concentration catches that looked very impressive, but did not surprise me in the slightest because Will Mallory has great hands and he has been ready every time his number has been called. I'm hoping the Colts find a way to get him on the field for a lot of snaps this season. Also on the defensive side, rookie Caden Curry. He had 6 combined tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, and 2 passes defensed, knocking down those passes at the line of scrimmage. Curry was very productive in his time as a pass rusher at Ohio State, and I'm hoping that over time the Colts are able to turn him into an effective NFL D end. They have struggled to find an effective rusher opposite Laiatu Latu, although this year the defensive end opposite Latu will be Arden Key starting, the new free agent signing. We mentioned last week that Cam Taylor-Britt, the new addition at corner, will be suspended for the Week 1 game against Baltimore. Because of this, I've been looking extra closely at the depth corners underneath him, including Mekhi Blackman and Jonathan Edwards. Unfortunately, in this first preseason game, they were a bit exposed, even by a quarterback like Tommy DeVito. They were targeted in man coverage, both of them getting burnt a couple of times. Hopefully, they were able to mostly correct those things during the film session, but corner depth is certainly worth paying attention to, especially considering Cam Taylor-Britt being unavailable for that Week 1 matchup against Baltimore. The kicking battle. So Spencer Schrader hit a clutch 61-yard field goal to tie our preseason game at the very end, and Blake Grupe had an opportunity to kick a 61-yarder at the end of the first half and could not get it to go through. Spencer Schrader has a very large leg, and that was certainly impressive to see that go through from 61, but Blake Grupe remains the more consistent kicker through training camp to this point. Worth mentioning once again that Spencer Schrader is recovering from a torn ACL and MCL in his right leg, which is his kicking leg. Those two will continue to battle it out in camp. Again, Schrader has the larger leg, but Grupe has been more consistent. An odd moment at the very end of the first preseason game, special teams coordinator Brian Mason was rolled up on by a Colt and a Patriot who were wrestling near the sideline, and he ended up tearing multiple ligaments in his knee. Reports from Shane Steichen are that Brian Mason has not received surgery, and he intends to try and let the leg heal naturally. He's one tough SOB. I've seen him out at practice. He's walking on it. He's got a thick brace on it. Brian Mason setting a great example for his players, showing a tremendous amount of toughness during this training camp. This upcoming week, the Colts will hold 2 joint practices with the Atlanta Falcons on Wednesday and Thursday afternoon, and the preseason game against Atlanta will be here in Indy Saturday at 1 p.m. Riley Leonard will start the first half, and Richardson will start the second half, the opposite of what they did last week in New England. The starters will not play, but Shane Steichen mentioned some starters will likely play some in the 3rd preseason game. Now, I'm sure you're aware, whether you're from the area or not, but central Indiana and Indiana statewide suffered some severe flooding and severe storms in this past week or so. Our hearts go out to all those who were affected by the severe storms and severe flooding, praying for all the families in the area, that your homes can be recovered, and that you can quickly get back on your feet. Noblesville, Anderson, Muncie, Indianapolis, Carmel, Yorktown, and Tipton were the areas most affected by the storms. The Indianapolis Colts and the Indiana Pacers combined to donate $250,000 to the American Red Cross to help restore these areas and help families put things back together. Just a reminder that there are more important things out there than putting up points on Sunday. Our hearts go out to all those who were affected. And thank you to the Colts and Pacers for all that you do. Now, I'll be out in Westfield watching both of these joint practices on Wednesday and Thursday, and I can't wait to tell you what I see. Thanks for tuning in to Indy Sports Yeah. I'm Ben Holland. Peace out.